Morning, good morning. Happy Sunday. Hello, hello, hello. I know you expected me earlier, but I'm here now. Good morning from Nix. How are you? Happy Sunday. Some of us have gotten ready for our services today. Some of us are just up, ready to do some housework. Hopefully, you've wet your grass or watered your plants and done so diligently this weekend. I keep saying that I'm going to learn how to use a weed whacker, but I'm not ready yet. I'm not that brave yet because you've got to cover everything up before you get into it. And I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to get into that. I never learned how to cut grass, so this will be a bit of an adventure for me to learn how to use the weed eater or whatever. Good morning, little one. There's nothing in there. Go and get your own downstairs. There's things on the table already. I've already put things out. See, sometimes you just got to get ahead of things. Uh, ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. What's the matter, sweetheart? I've already put your things downstairs. Do not start with me. I think that's what happens when you make them a bit dependent on you. Anyway, but I've already done this thing, so he has nothing to fret about. How are you? How are you? I'm drinking my coffee this morning. It is a bit warm, so pay attention. It may be time to turn the air on. I just got a icky feeling. So maybe something karmic-y is in here. And don't take it as an offense when I say karmic sometimes. Sometimes it just means that you don't have the backbone to put away people that are bad for you. And that makes you a karmic by way of just by association. So sometimes it's your environment and the things that you allow around you that make you susceptible to being a karmic and sometimes worse. But, it's every level has a different devil, right? Excuse me. And unfortunately, for some of us, we've already cleaned up our karmic debt. It's just that we keep allowing other people to enter into our spaces and our energy. And when they get there, they in turn make us not so divine because we tend to make choices depending on whether they're going to like us or not, or whether they're going to participate or enjoy us or support us. And that is what makes the environment a bit karmic because you don't want to be susceptible to everybody. You don't want to be susceptible to everybody's wishes and wills, especially if you have something that you're set forth to do. And you should have genuine supporters. And the people that are genuinely supporting you are going to let you do your thing and they're never going to be offended. They're going to understand the journey in which you're on, right? So when you have people that are going to misunderstand you on purpose, confuse you, make you go inside yourself, not applaud you, talk down about the purposes that you have, sabotage, and just all out to speak death into your plans, that makes you a bit karmic because you're not allowing these people to go. You're not just setting the boundary and saying, you know what, I don't like what you're saying. You have to stop. This isn't good. This isn't good for my life. This isn't adding to your life. We have to part ways. We can no longer be, right? And I actually woke up to a lot of different things. So Nivea was one of the things. Shout out to Nivea. How are you? Going to the laundromat. So somebody's definitely getting their things together to go to the wash. Someone is going to the wash. Look at the scarf. All right, look at the scarf representing. All right, this is a scarf that I got a while back. Yeah, the a while back. Which reminds me, back in 22, someone tried to take something my grandmother gave me. My grandmother gave it to me in like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the middle of the morning, right? She used to have a vineyard. She used to have like a little bit of a little small, her own little small little thing. She used to do grapes. She used to do Concord grapes. And she used to have the three, there were three granddaughters. There was a lemon tree, an apple tree, a lemon tree, an apple tree, and a peach tree. And lemon tree, apple tree, and peach tree used to all go outside and pick the Concord grapes for jam and preserves and things of that nature. However, in 2022, after the passing, long after the passing, there was a situation in where I had actually gone into hermit mode for a while. I had already divorced. I'd gotten my own place. I had my apartment, and I was celibate for some years. And I'd gone in, and I was really, really good. I was engaged to a guy that was long distance, but it was going good because I was very disciplined and everything was going great. And I was on my way to get married. I think at the point, I think God was trying to tell me don't get married at the time, but I wasn't listening too much because I was running from the chaos that was happening and I didn't understand the chaos that was churning at the time. See, my grandmother was blessing me with a gift subconsciously and I didn't know it. She had blessed me with straight. See, around the time I think after Amigos had came out, and I'd started Amigos that came out, and I wanted to do a brand because I'd already started. I'd already been writing my first book for some years, and I also knew that I wanted to do other things. So I'd started my brand, and Amigos came out with straightening, and I remember there was a time where everybody was just trying me back and forth. And I remember that year for some reason, even though it's always been evident throughout the years, for some reason, men and women were blatantly pursuing me. And I was like, what the hell is going on? It was like blatant. And it was like I was fighting them off, both sides. I was fighting them off. And what happened was everybody, it just seemed like everybody was gunning at me. And I couldn't understand why. I just be like, because that was the setup, right? And this is all happening in real time right now, me thinking, and this part. But I'd started Straight, which is my champagne company. However, when I introduced it to a couple of members of my family, the one person who had the sourest look on their face was the person who you wouldn't expect. And then they went about and told their friends that, oh, you shouldn't try her things. It's just going to it's going to give you stomach things. You shouldn't try this. This is going to do this. And the evidence of my work had shown when the bottle had burst because no one believed that it was champagne that I'd made because everybody kept trying to call it wine. But it was actually champagne that I had made, and it was crazy that I'd made champagne because my name was Champagne. But that was the gift that my grandmother had given me. She gave me this brand in my sleep, out of my sleep. She woke me up in the middle of the night in my apartment after I'd gone within, after I'd gone into my monkhood. She gave me this gift. She said, "You are ready." And at that point, I didn't understand the blessing that she was giving me. But nobody told me to keep the people that were around me away from me. At that point, that was the time for my family to come together and help me do this because this would have actually put us in the books. However, the spirit of Athelia took over in that sense, but the spirit of Athelia was always there, and I had not known. Had I known, I would have kept everyone away from the blessing that it was given to me, which was my brand, which is still my brand, which is always going to be my brand. However, someone seeked to take everything away from me because they could not come up with the things and they were not blessed with that gift. And that was the part that I believe God decided could not happen. You see, we're in a situation now, and it's not because of just me. It's because of a lot of us have gone through the same thing that I've gone through. And the situation has become very, very mature in a way, only because God has set up a lot of things in a lot of ways. He has a plan. And the issue with the plan is we've become too emboldened in our devices here on this earth. See, the reason why we keep saying God's plan is because even the mistakes and even the good things he's made a plan about. He's definitely planned out. The thing about it is we've gotten too ambitious in our ways, way too ambitious. with the devices of men. See, someone keeps going overseas and going to practitioners and going to pretty good ones, right? But the issue is God feels that. He feels the arrogance of those practitioners. He feels how these people have decided that they have more power than God himself. Now, see, God lets things happen because he wants you to know that the devices that he did put on this earth for us to use, they do work. However, they were supposed to be used for good things. They were supposed to be good to bring good things to pass, to protect people's destinies, to protect people's paths. So when you go to a special person or a practitioner or things of that nature, and you ask for certain things, they are supposed to be wise enough to tell you when things should not be done and things can be done. They should be wise enough to say, we cannot do these things. You should not desire these things. This is why a lot of times in those mythical tombs and those mythical books, they say that love magic and love potions and certain things are forbidden because you are going against a person's will. And not to say that a love potion is always done for the sake of love. It is done because a person wants to soften someone's heart when they want access. They want to soften someone's heart when they want to be reasonable, when they want reason, when they want a person to go against their greater self, when they want a person to go against their intuition. This is why a person would do a love spell, a come to me spell, or whatever they call those things. That's when they come in and they triangulate you. They bring you gifts. They cook for you. They listen to you. They play your favorite music, all in a instant to soften your resolve in order to gain access to something that you have, be it your blessing, be it your home, be it your food, be it your drink, be it your presence, be it your words, be it your destiny. It does not matter. This is why a person would do that. It's because they need to soften whatever they need to happen. And sometimes a person would just do it to the people around you, soften up the people around you so that they are ready for whatever they need them to receive so that they could isolate you. So it's done in all sorts of ways, right? A lot of times when we're talking about spell work and witchcraft, we're talking about manipulation, lies, and triangulation and projection, manipulation of people's energy, which is pretty much people's reputation and the way people see people from the inside out. So that is a bit of witchcraft, is that type of manipulation, stealing things, putting them back, just basically making a person all confused, telling a person that it's raining when basically you're pissing straight down their spine. Okay, so that's basically what that is: soothsaying, witchcraft, hexes, that sort of thing. When God is giving blessings, it's really blasphemy for you to be trying to do the hexing. And I'll go forward on what I'm saying. So it has become clear that God is upset. He is upset, and he's also probably going to the laundromat on us all because somebody forgot the socks in the corner. Somebody forgot the soap powder. Somebody forgot the bleach. Somebody forgot to get those food stains out. Somebody forgot to do that. And I think that's probably how he felt when Noah realized that one of the women on the boat was pregnant by one of the Nephilim. He had gone over everything with the fine tooth comb. However, he didn't realize that even though the woman was not a bad woman, she was a karmic by way of she had laid with the Nephilim before she had boarded the boat. So she basically destroyed all the work that Noah had done, all by a simple, innocent deed. She was with a child, not knowing that the child was a product of a relationship that should not have been. And pardon me while I take a sip of this coffee. So when people are going about with their devices and they're asking these and they're requesting and they're saying, oh, well, I want his woman and I want her man and I want a baby. And yes, that's indeed in that because It's a reason why God does certain things. Sometimes the baby that you're asking the practitioner to help you have ain't the baby you were supposed to have, and you wondering why you catching your tail about this baby. It's because it was brought together. It wasn't really in God's plan. It wasn't blessed by God. So sometimes God will let you catch, because he does have humor. He will let you catch thunder. He'll let you catch thunder because you did not wait on him in the blessing that he was going to give you. Sometimes God knows that your body could not deal with birthing. So he wanted you to stay cool while he found your Boaz, and he was going to probably give you Boaz with babies in tow, and you would have never had to gone through childbirth. However, you would have been able to raise kids. But because you never exited those environments in which God needed you to exit, he wasn't going to give you anything. Sometimes you are in the way of your own blessing by way of not listening and answering the call. So you have to understand that maybe you were about to be blessed. Maybe you were an inch away from being blessed, but it was that inch that mattered. Remember, almost doesn't count. That be Brandy. That be Brandy. Almost made you love me. Almost made you cry. Almost had you, baby, baby, baby. Didn't I, didn't I? Yeah, so you have to understand, almost does not count in a lot of situations. Sometimes God didn't want you to stay on that job that long. Sometimes God wanted you to leave and you did not get into accordance, so he could not bless you because you are still amongst the people that he did not want to bless you around. So a lot of times when you're going to and you're forcing the will, you are doing things that are out of alignment with what God asked to be together. Sometimes God put two people together, not because he wanted them to survive, because God was going to do things in their life that needed to happen the way he wanted it to happen. But you told yourself that you wanted that person and you had plans for that person, but it was not blessed and it was not ordained, or it would not have been hard, or you wouldn't have had to go and play in witchcraft to get it. You would not have had to go and play in witchcraft and get it. You would not have had to travel overseas and light no candles and use no devices had you allowed God's will to take way. Had you not decided to go and lie, had you not decided to go and steal and circumvent the blessing that was coming. Because although you might have deterred someone else's blessing, guess what? You've deterred your own blessing. You've brought about your own long pain and suffering. A lot of times people think, oh, it didn't happen to me because I'm still blessed. Wait a little bit, it's going to happen. See, sometimes, like I even say in my song, didn't know I was headed to a nightmare when you rocked me to sleep. I used to swim through shallow waters because my heart is deep. Somebody didn't want me to do that one because sometimes even the Lord have to rock you to sleep because you feel as though your will is stronger than what he put in place. So sometimes he will let you do that. But right now, it seems as though too much of that has gone on and too many destinies and too many things have been moved around. And God had plans for these people. So you all tell yourselves that you're going to override and circumvent the blessings, the karma, the consequences that would be because you're going to keep playing in these situations. But this is not the time. We are no longer in a situation in where he's going to allow you to keep pushing him. And this goes for a lot of people. I'm not the only one. I'm just a drop in the bucket. But however, every drop in the bucket matters. Every tear cried mattered. Every heartbroken mattered. Every destiny stolen mattered. Every job situation when someone was supposed to become the manager or the supervisor or somebody was supposed to become the next one, somebody did something that was dishonest, that was manipulative, and they changed the trajectory of things, which changed food in some kids' mouth, which changed someone's time ETA, which changed someone's destiny in the nursing home, which changed someone's destiny towards the grave, which changed something in traffic, which changed someone into an alcohol, which changed someone into a drug addict. You see what I'm saying? By way of these small gentle things that have been taken and pushed out of place, the waves and the tremors do still have cause and effect. It's called the domino effect. So when you keep pushing things out of place because you tell yourself you want that, you need that, you should have that, they don't deserve that, you don't understand the things that are being put in place, and the things that are put in place might bless you. You don't know what you might, God's rejection is definitely protection. You don't know what you might be missing. You don't know what you might be stepping over. You don't know what it might be. So it is imperative that we all decide, we all think about the things that we're doing when we asking for these things to happen, when we're pushing in God's will, when we're asking for things to be manipulated for our benefit. A lot of times those things backfire, and then you find somebody is obsessed, somebody ends up in the hospital, there's a freak car accident, there's a diagnosis that nobody knew was coming that changes the trajectory of somebody's life. you know um all sorts of things could happen because of that. There are kids that are being put into relationships and homes where no love is, because that relationship was never supposed to be. You see what I'm saying? Some kids are being born to parents who are going to hurt them, was because that wasn't supposed to be. That union wasn't supposed to be. That conception was not blessed. So God have to let you be punished by the wrong choices in which you made. Sometimes God will let you become rich and then make everybody chase you. All the bill chasers in the world chase you, give you every problem in the world because you wasn't supposed to become rich. Some people will go out and they'll have a bunch of babies, and some people will say, oh, God bless you, God bless you. No, God made you miserable because you wouldn't listen the first time when you had the first badass kid. Sometimes he gives you the hey, you need to slow down, you need to stop. And you don't listen because you tell yourself that you are the controller of your destiny. But you have not gone to your higher self. You have not gone to God. You have not gone. And the reason why we know is because you end up suffering because of your choices. Only the ones that have gone to God end up not suffering. And I mean, in the long end, in the long haul, they don't end up having to lie. They don't end up having to look over their shoulder. They don't end up having to cook the books. You understand? Some of us will get a business, and God will let you get into that business knowing good and well you shouldn't be in that business, because he got something for you. And all your little friends you're going to bring into that business. He'll let you get as high as you can, but then he'll drop you all with the problems. All because you manipulated too much. Some of y'all was supposed to get somewhere. And when you got there, you didn't stop. You got greedy. See, sometimes he wants you to know you do have power. There's power in your choice. He wants you to know that you could use these things for good things. But the thing is, you go too far, then you get greedy. Then you tell yourself, oh, I got blessed, so nobody else should get the blessing. I'm not going to show nobody else the blessing. I'm going to gatekeep. I don't want this person. I got a husband, so this person can't get a husband. I got a wife, so this person can't get a wife. I got a child, so this person can't get a child. I'm single, so this person need to have a bunch of babies. I'm healthy, so this person need to have a bunch of diseases. Or the worst, I got a disease, so this person have to have a disease. I got bad kids, so this person have to have bad kids. I got a bad husband, so this person got to have bad husbands. You understand? You gotta pay attention, use discernment. And usually you're supposed to just be judging yourself to get better than the last self that you was, maybe a minute, an hour, or maybe a day ago. You're supposed to be fighting against you and the principalities that have been given and presented to you. But instead we find ourselves all out in the open, all raw dog and all out in the external, fighting other people's battles and demons that wasn't even meant for us to go over and face. Still dealing with the man and the woman in the mirror. However, let me proceed because it's Sunday and I already got some meat to cook. It was crazy. I bought 2 bags with the same daggone measurements almost because of the point, right? The point, the tenths. So it's 1.3, then the number after. 1.3, then the number after. One bag was 1182. The other one was 1191. 911. It's an emergency. So somebody's definitely having an emergency. I got the whiff of shaving cream this morning. And if you know about shaving cream, there's a lot of uses for shaving cream. Shave your legs, make a barrier so that you don't nick yourself and make a mistake. But also shaving cream hides bullshit. And if you ever been in nursing, shaving cream is what they use when they want to hurry up and clean up some shit. Usually C depth. That's when a person has definitely got it real deep down in their gut and they poisonous. It's like toxic on the inside. So whatever come out is toxic, right? So you definitely got to do like isolation procedures. You definitely got to use your protection equipment, your universal protection equipment, and you've got to do isolation. So you've got to put on like the whole armor and stuff. So somebody's got to put on the whole armor of God because they're about to go into some bullshit. Everybody's about to be lying. Is somebody going to a family reunion or something? Because when I woke up, I smelled shaving cream. I said, let me lay back down because this ain't right. Ain't nobody shaving in my house. Where's the shaving cream coming from? But I had a hint of shaving cream when I woke up. And usually when I used to use shaving cream while I was in nursing is when somebody had a poop and I had to clean it up and I didn't want people to smell it. So shaving cream, somebody's trying to cover up some bull hockey. Somebody's trying to cover up a smell. Somebody's trying to cover the scent. Oh, someone is in nursing maybe, or somebody's just trying to cover the scent. Bullshit. Shaving cream. Somebody been to the barber shop, or somebody's okay. So then that can also mean somebody's trying to clean up themselves, clean up their image. Because shaving cream covers up smells. I think you can use it to polish up something, but you can also use it to polish up a person. Shaving cream, you use it to polish up skin. Use it to polish up a man if he wants to be polished. You use it to do your legs if you want to do your legs, your underarms, and stuff like that. But shaving cream also covers up BS. It covers up the scent. So I'm getting 3 different things. Someone's trying to cover up their act. Somebody's trying to look better. Somebody's trying to give a cleaner appearance. They're trying to cover up the sin of that. Maybe they might pop into church. Maybe somebody's trying to cover something up before they go and make an appearance somewhere. Somebody's going to make an appearance. Somebody's going to an event, a church, a family reunion, a cookout. Okay, a cookout. Maybe a cookout. Because this is the time for cookouts. That makes sense. People are doing cookouts. It's hot. People don't want to cook in the house. Okay, so maybe that's what somebody's about to go around somebody. Here it is. Somebody's about to go around somebody and they're going to be trying to clean up to get around the people so that they could, I guess, get money or sympathy or some place to live or some type of resources. Somebody needs to appear a certain way before they go around people. Okay. Somebody needs to appear in a certain way before they go around people. So that's what I got from the shaving cream. So somebody's trying to cover it up. Maybe somebody's in nursing. Maybe someone's a caretaker and they're trying to cover up the BS. Now that makes sense as well. Especially if somebody is the power of attorney or somebody is the guardian to somebody, they have to cover up the BS. That's the message. That's the channel, I guess. Okay. I think I covered this. Sirius Radio, more than a frequency. Keep your receipts. The Golden Child. The Golden Child, Eddie Murphy, comedian, the movie. Something about Balenciaga. Dougie Fresh. I keep on rising to the top. Give it what you got. I keep on rising to the. Dun, 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 dun. So it's a mix. It's a mix of cultures. It's a mix because Dougie Fresh was good, and Dougie Fresh was a very good mix of cultures. He was back in the day. I know I'm giving out my age by saying that, but Dougie Fresh, yeah. I keep on rising to the top, and he was sampling something. So somebody's sampling something. Somebody's taking a piece of something. Somebody's extracting a piece of something or extorting a piece of something. They're taking a piece from something. They're removing a piece from a whole. That's what I got. The Orishas in them are not okay. Somebody went to Puerto Rico to have some work done. However, a lot of the islands are starting to experience certain things because the spirits are being bothered more often than not. A lot of these new age stars and things of that nature, even though they are being encouraged to approach the new age things, they're approaching it for very selfish reasons and reasons of ego. And I don't think you're supposed to be using this to placate people's ego. I think spirituality is supposed to be used for the environment and for the higher vibration of the world. And you guys are using it to lower the vibration of the world by all these non-ordained unions and all of these blessings y'all keep manipulating out of people's by hexes. So I don't think that's y'all upsetting the balance of how things are supposed to be. It's like making a good meal and you have meat, you have a starch, and you have a vegetable. And then someone goes into the meal and they eat all the meat. And now you only have the vegetable and the starch. Like that's a no, that's a no-go. And that's like, somebody just taking away part of the situation, not realizing that it's supposed to be a whole, right? So yeah, we're out of balance here. That's like a room full of 12 men and 13 women. Somebody's going to be left out, and it's not even anymore because people have just taken way more than their share was supposed to be. So everyone else is not going to get the blessing that they're supposed to get unless these things get reset. And however, he can't trust us to do shit right because we are flawed as a people. And even if he should get enough of us right, there will still be enough of us wrong to get it wrong again. So he's going to have to take the wheel on this one. And for me, my part in this is I surrender because I know that as much as I would like to be right with the Lord, there are certain things that He's in control of. So I'm gonna do my part and surrender. So I don't know what you gonna do, but I'm gonna praise His name. All right. So let's get through with the psalm that I'd already picked because my eyes went over to it and it just looked, like I should. Okay, so here we go. 84 Psalms. How amiable are thy tabernacles, O Lord of hosts! My soul longeth, yea, even fainteth for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh crieth out for the living God. Yea, the sparrow hath found an house, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young, even thine altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are they that dwelt in thy house, they will be still praising thee, Selah. Blessed is the man whose strength is in thee, in whose heart are the ways of them. Whose passing through the valley of Baca make it well. The rain also filleth the pools. They go from strength to strength, every one of them in Zion appeareth before God. O Lord God of hosts, hear my prayer, give ear, O God of Jacob, Selah. Behold, O God, our shield, and look upon the face of thine anointed. For a day in thy courts is better than 1,000. I had rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than to dwell in the tents of wickedness. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will be withhold from them that walk uprightly. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the man that trusteth in thee. So you see, my dear, this is why I won't worry about the blessing that was almost stolen from me by way, because the thing of the matter was, I did not know that the people that I was sent to help and protect on the way up were the same people who the devil was going to use to try and extract my blessing from me by way of trying to separate me by way of bloodline, because that would be the only way to infiltrate me. They knew I would not let a friend turn me back. They knew I would not let a stranger turn me back. So instead, they sent me in with someone who shared the same DNA as me, and they attempted to extract everything from me by way of my business, my book, all of my intelligence and everything, by way of taking my personal belongings and using them in rituals. However, those belongings are no longer charged with my energy, so these blessings are falling on deaf ears, and the prayers are returning into their own bosoms, negative as they are. I know you're here. I know. You'll study later. So, what I'm saying to you is there are some people who are taking things that were sacred to you all, be it memories, pictures, rings, lotion, anything of your personal gatherings, your anything that they share in common with you. Even conversations can be used in these here rituals, and they're using them in a negative way in order to infiltrate your blessings and your lessons. Sometimes you come and you say, look, I'm doing this business and I'm doing this, and instead you're met with animosity instead of support. It's because the trap has been laid. These people have taken everything sacred to you and have decided that they were going to pull one way or another, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. Some people don't even understand why you trigger their demons, why you make an reaction happen when you enter the room. It is because it is an entity attachment inside you that you have subconsciously just absorbed because you stay in these bad environments, and it makes you a bit of a hater. Yeah, when we say hater, we're not just saying that you hate us, we're saying it's some hate in you. It's something in you that you hate. And when you see other people either with it or without it, it makes an emotion come about, and you can't control it, whether it be jealousy, whether it be envy, whether it be happiness, whether it be sadness, whether it be depression, because some people don't understand that the anger that they're exhibiting is really depression, it's really sadness. I'm sad I can't be happy like that. I'm sad I can't be sad like that. I'm sad I can't be fat like that. I'm sad I can't be skinny like that. I'm sad I can't have that man. I'm sad I can't be single. I'm sad I can't be with child. I'm sad I can't handle my children. So you see, a lot of times people are just sitting about and they're subconsciously comparing themselves, not even realizing that they're opening up a place in their selves so that evil could sit and hate can sit. And it's not that they hate the person outwardly so much as right, even though it's easier to say you hate a person instead of it's you saying, I hate this about myself. I hate this emotion. I hate this thought. I hate that this person made me feel this way. It's easier for you to say, I hate that person. I hate her purse. I hate her eyes. I hate her car. I hate her house. I hate her hate. I hate her love. I hate her. I hate. It's easier for you to say that and have someone tangibly to put it on. And this is why people like to say the devil. When they say the devil, they're thinking of a person on the outside of themselves, because it is easier to make you the devil, and it's easier to make something the devil, as opposed to saying, It's something devilish about this thought. It's something devilish about this hate. It's something devilish about me not accepting myself for what I do and what I don't have. It's something devilish about the fact that I can't accept what that person does or does not have. I can't accept the fact that she's missing that side tooth. I hate her tooth. Well, baby, you don't have to not chew with it. You don't have to not smile with it. It's my imperfection to feel imperfect about. How dare you arrogantly steal something I'm not ashamed about? And that's crazy too. Because some people will actually try to make you feel ashamed about something that you don't feel ashamed about because they need you to feel a lot lesser than you because they feel a lot lesser than them if they had to deal with the same conditions. Some women, I have actually seen some women with the same mouth setup as me. They have the same missing tooth and they're like, I'm going to go and glue that shit in my mouth because I feel some way because if somebody says something about my smile, I'm going to fight them and I'm going to do this. And you know what? I'm going to use this same mouth with the missing tooth to give her man some neck because how dare. And I'm like, you should have just been happy with no tooth or went and got your tooth and not just made a big fucking deal out of it because nobody even cares. And if a person does come up to you and make fun about your damn tooth, you need to stop speaking to them immediately. So it's you know what I'm saying. Like we've got to get back on track. We've definitely got to be on track. Mm. So yeah, that about that. And I'm not hating on toothless people. It's just that you were born that way. And if you can hold on to them for as long as you can, fine. But the way that we've made the vanity, just too much vanity. Okay, you held on to your teeth, great. You brushed them, great. You took care of them, great. You didn't take care of them, great. Whatever. It's nobody's business, nobody's problem. But if you come up on somebody and they're like, you know what? I don't like the fact that you don't have teeth in your mouth. It's time for you to just say, you know what? I don't want to be around nobody who can't be around a toothless person. And we part ways. You go look for the chaps. This person go looks for the gums. We're good, right? We have some chicklet twins. We have a man and a woman who have their what? They have their veneers and they're happy with each other's veneers. They know they can't kiss hard. They know they can't eat hard food. They know they gotta eat marshmallows and soup and shit for the rest of their life. And they know they've got to break up the damn crab legs with the thing. All right. I can't sit at the table with them because I like to take the damn crab and crack it with my front teeth. I can chew an apple with my front teeth. So I don't like to be around people who have those teeth insecurities because not only am I happy about the missing tooth because it actually makes me be able to fit the claw in there just right before I crack it, but also I'm glad about my front teeth so I can still bite the damn apple. You see what I'm saying? I'm happy with the best of both worlds. I don't need to be perfect. And if somebody get upset and make fun of me because I don't happen to be the perfect that they want, I am happy to change my environment. And I would hope that some people would follow suit. If you're not happy with something, it's free for you to change your environment. You're free to log off, swipe left, swipe right. Go to someone who says the things that you like to hear, even though that's not always good to always surround yourself with people who only tell you the things that you like to hear because your delusion might be fed. hmm And too much pleasure brings pain. Definitely. So, with that being said, all I'm saying is be careful, watch your circle. People will take your sacred belongings, they will do rituals with them. They'll say, hey, they let me borrow this. So, you know, I'm close to them. So, what I'm saying is true. No, they stole it. A lot of times, people go in your house and they steal your things and they be like, oh, well, this person let me borrow this. No, you stole it. You put your hands on it. You didn't ask for it. Mm-hmm. I remember I had this one sibling, I swear, they would actually wait to see me with something that I like my favorite thing for that year or my favorite color or just something. They would always come around me every so often. And now that I caught on, that person can't come around me no more because not only you're a thief, you're a klepto, and you got weird. You got weird. Like the last thing you stole, well, not the last thing you stole because I found out that you had actually had somebody coming around me and stealing my shit too because you were no longer allowed around me. Like you were doing some weird shit. Right? But the weirdest thing you stole was when I went away in Vegas, when I went to Vegas in 2022. And yeah, you stole it. It was navy blue, and you stole it because it had my essence on it. Just like another person was stealing my underwears. Like, you got to be careful with people. People are doing weird shit with rituals and all that stuff. And I believe that it's just become too much. Too many destinies, too many blessings have been happening. Do you know how many doctors didn't become because somebody hexed the person and stole their stuff and decided to make poison instead of the person making the cure? Do you know how many, good leaders didn't happen because somebody decided that they wanted to hex and change somebody's way of life? You know how many good marriages did not happen because somebody said, I want that person's man, I want that person's woman? You know how many kids is not in good homes because of that same thing? Do you know how many good things have not been made and how many bad things took their place because some things didn't happen the way that it was supposed to happen? We're actually supposed to be a lot further in life than we are now. We're supposed to actually be more in line with technology than we are. But because too many things, too many destinies have been gone and fell by the wayside, technology has gone further than we have. How is that when he blessed us with technology? Oh, it's because not only did he bless us with technology, he already had the people in line set up that were supposed to be in line. But because a bunch of jealous people decided that they were going to get together and put their sciences together and devise plans to trip them up, he said, okay, I'm going to let y'all keep messing yourself up. And that was outlined in 106. Y'all kept He kept trying to do his thing with captivity, and y'all said, nope, we want to be captured. Yep. We're going to let everybody through the gate, and then we're going to sell them out. Yep. We're going to do that. We're going to sell them out. Yep. And that's what they did. You'll find out when I release my new fragrance. That sounded good. I really wasn't planning it, but now you're giving me ideas. I think I do have something in mind. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when I look at myself, it's as though Jill Scott, Rihanna, and which other artist? There's another artist that got together, and they all got together and say, "Hey, we're going to make her like that." Shaka Khan, Jill Scott, and Rihanna just sat in there and said, "You know what? Just give her the rest of the essence." And I'm like, "Hey, yep." And then Erykah Badu came by with some little dust and said, "Doo, doo, 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 doo. There you go. There she is. She's complete. This is what y'all got. I'm gonna mix 4 generations in her and put her out there. And now here I am, straight champagne." Yeah. So back to what I was saying, staying in line. Yeah, they tried to steal my champagne business and my book and all that other kind of stuff by the way of doing rituals. So then they started sending the HVAC idiot around so that he can get a clue of me and get some of my essence off of some of these clothes and some of these objects that were being given and spread about so that people can do the ignorance with them. And they all started trying to strip me of my damn destiny by way of the spirit of Athelia, them not knowing that they were actually put under a hex. Because why would you be so quick to destroy yourself? You're not knowing that you are covering up for the main person who needs you to do it. So you're going to experience all of the backfires way before it gets to them. And they're going to sit there and watch you suffer and reap all the benefits until it hits them. Because 9 times out of 10, the practitioner, the original practitioner is old and started this bullshit from the beginning. So they're stealing from everybody down the line. And that's the stupid Ponzi scheme that a lot of people aren't aware of. They're just too busy looking at the money. They're not even realizing that it's so many other things being stolen and trickled down through the energy of the space. All right. So there's that. And I'm almost finished my book. And this is a great read. And I'm going to keep telling you, between my book, Inside Gossip by Alexis Sisco, which you do need to get over and get, between my book and this book here, these might be parallel books. Almost, because they're telling almost the same story from two different perspectives. So be sure to get Inside Gossip by Alexis Sisco, yours truly. And don't forget, if you've had any John Grisham, he definitely on the same frequency as me, because after reading his book, it's quite intricate in the way that I would have written it, but it's also his perspective and my perspective are very much alike. They intercede at sometimes. So it's very interesting to know that great minds do think alike and they have the same formula. So I'm not too far off. And actually, I'm really on point, and to the point where someone had gotten paranoid from my actual book. And I think when my book came out, a few people abroad probably felt like it was a lot closer to their lives than they really would have liked to think. By the way, kudos for your paranoia. It just lets me know that I'm on the mark, okay? But turns out it's also part of a new world order or something, because if you go up there, up there, I think it's to the left. I don't know. I'm too curious about the pressure points in your body. I've always done therapy and things of that nature, and I believe touch therapy is some of the best therapy as well. But after knowing that, when up there, there's a special control button that's up there, up the dairy air, and that's like shit. You ever seen Gardens of the Galaxy? Yeah, you seen Gardens of the Galaxy? Rocket. Rocket, the little badger thing, the little the raccoon. They call those like excuse me, dumpster puppies or something like that. I don't know, but I think it's clear. It's clear. The little bandit, yeah, the little bandits, yeah. I know it's the Guardians, yeah, the Gardens of the Galaxy. And yeah, the Gardens of the Galaxy, and the way they made Rocket was an animal, and he was replaced by little parts and switches and stuff. And a lot of us, we've been replaced, a lot of our parts have been replaced spiritually. We've had to have our hearts and things replaced. We've had to have our brains changed around a little bit. They've been reconstructed by all this damage and all these good things and all these bad things that happen in the food and the water and all these experiences and stuff. So in a way, a lot of us have become like Rocket, not so much as an animal to say, but an experiment of much. We've been experimented by teachers and parents and different religions and food, and we've tried all the different hairstyles, and we've tried all the different fads. Remember, we wore two big t-shirts, and then now we're wearing like extra damn small jeans and things of that nature. And everybody's wearing spandex all of a sudden, where they used to wear polyester, and the thing about Rocket is Rocket has a kill switch. And that's the most important that you need to know about Rocket. And everybody so far has a kill switch. And you got to be careful, just like Rocket had to be. Because when people know about certain things in you, they'll try to trigger them. They'll try to push that button. You know how I am Guru. You know how you keep talking to somebody, you're talking to them till you're blue in the face, but they're still going to do what they want to do. But the thing about it is, even though Guru, innocent as he was, biggest liability in the world, he didn't do as they said. He did as he was shown. That's important for somebody. Take what resonates. Gru was forever a child, and some, innocently enough, don't do what they've been told. They do what they've been shown. Somebody's a damn idiot. I don't know where I'm getting this energy from. Somebody just like, you can say a lot of things to you blue in your face, and this person just, it don't change. And this person has the nerve to think that they smart, but they evidently dumb. But you know, there are some people that's so dumb that they think that they smart. And you just gotta breathe, relate, and relax. Where did this energy come from? It's somebody that's stubborn like that. You can't really sway them one way or another. They're just going to be, even if they know it's bad, they're just still going to do it because they haven't blown up. That's the only way that I could word it. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody just keeps pressing the D button. Just keep, because they don't learn. Very interesting. Some people they're very curious. Some people are on repeat. And you know what? I think that some people's curse in life to just constantly just press the damn button, to just switch, to just press the D switch and blow up every lifetime because they don't plan on getting it right. I think those are the NPCs of this life. They're just here to show you that shit blows up. So that if you want to get off this rock, you pay attention. Eventually, you pay attention, and then you get the hell off this rock. As if somebody is stuck in Groundhog Day. They're going to forever make the same mistakes, and you can't even deter them. To deter them would be to fuck your life up. So you just got to let somebody stay on repeat. Okay? I don't know who needs to hear this. Stop trying to save that person who you see that's on repeat. It's killing you. It's not killing them. Let them proceed and you keep moving forward. They're not there for you to save them. They're there to mock your progress. 6'9" in front of me, 6'9", you're 69, God. Cancer. I don't know why that energy just came through, but it just said, some people are put there to do shit repeatedly so they can show you that you're not doing shit repeatedly. Don't try to save them. That's just, it is what it is. You keep going. Do not go toward the treasure. I don't know why that's funny and why the energy just cut through. Because I was just telling one thing and then another thing will pop through. I tell you, thank you, Father God, for the messages that you be including me in, because I just don't be knowing. I be laughing. Because I'm like, huh? Somebody is really on repeat. That's horrible. That's horrible. You know, doing the same thing over and over is, when expecting different result, is insanity, right? Oh my God, somebody is really like that. And you can't tell them nothing because as long as they yield a result, they don't care. That's wild. Wild. That is extra wild. Oh boy. Let me take a sip of this for that. Oh, shout out to someone who has post-nut clarity. The message just popping out, isn't it? But don't do that. Don't make that a habit. I had to say that. Don't make that a habit, post-nut clarity, because if you always don't get clear until after you nut, you need to stop nutting until you clear before you go in. I don't know who needs to hear this. They make that like a disclaimer. Somebody's just licensing themselves to be a hoe. They honest though. Somebody honest as hell. They'll tell you. But that don't mean you stay on the clearance rack just because you can be on the clearance rack and you can tell the truth about it. Eventually, somebody gonna hurt you with that truth. Oh man. Look, I won't get in your way. All I know is go on, do what you do. Just don't include me in it. Don't include none of the collective that I know, and none of your bull stuff because we're too close to ascension to allow you to let us slide back. And it's crazy. You're an inch away from not being a karmic because you got everything in your arsenal to get you through. Yet, you in fornication got an unbreakable bond. You would be off the clearance rack if you could stop fornicating. It's somebody that's this close to ascension, but they can't keep they panty drawers up, they boxer drawers from the side. They can't keep the little hole in the front clothes for the life of them. Yeah, they'll wear protection. Yeah, they'll tell the truth. Yeah, they go to the doctors, but they won't keep that thing in a sling. They won't go down somewhere. And this is why they can't ascend. Oh, baby, almost doesn't count. So you got to do the whole thing. And even if you did all that, you did the celibate thing and all that, what conversations are you still taking part of? What are you still listening to? What are you still watching? It's something you're doing that's keeping you from a little bit of ascension and almost don't count. You got to do the whole thing, baby. Now, this little bit of cussing I be doing, that ain't going to keep me from ascension because I don't have bad intentions. And I don't really curse out of context. I'm not just running around cursing like a sailor. I only curse during context. And I want to put a little flavor on what I'm saying. But yeah, it's a little bit of something that you got to tweak. And you going on a sin, baby. You going. I'm going to give you the little old lady pat. Come on, baby. You got it. You almost there. And you going to be all right. Just got to jump off that clearance rack. Your woman is waiting. Your new man is waiting. That new baby, that spirit baby that you've been feeling kicking around in your body, they're waiting to be born. That new business is waiting for you to get into alignment so that you can meet the person that's going to help you get to the contract, that's going to help you find a lawyer, that's going to help you get to the new customers. But you got to get into alignment. You can't have them people around that don't act like you when you're trying to do your business. You can't bring stinging them to the interview. You can't take them to the first meeting. You can't have them waiting around in the parking lot. You can't go home to little Mimi and Tiff in them because they ain't going to do nothing but have you eating processed food anyway. You can't go in to them. They're going to be on the phone and they're going to mess up your thoughts because you can be thinking about all this shit that being said. Even if it ain't being said to you, it's still going to play in your mind. So you can't be around all of that chaos. And you can't go around Aunt Nikki and them. You can't go around Aunt Nikki and them because they going to take all of what you said and they're going to go back and tell everybody before you even thought about it. And before you even put that idea out there, and God forbid somebody steal your idea. And you don't even understand how they stole your ideas because you was telling Aunt Nikki and them about your idea. And Aunt Nikki and them bitches don't never had nothing to fucking talk about. So every time they get around somebody, they use what your conversation is for clout. So now it's 10 niggas in the neighborhood got your idea because Aunt Nikki and them get drunk. And when she get drunk, she just trying to get somebody come over and pay for her liquor. So she talking about anybody business for content because she needs you over there long enough for her to get drinks. And you're trying to figure out, like, damn, why is everybody doing things that I said I wanted to do? Well, you shouldn't have told nobody around you what you wanted to do, because some people don't hold water. Some people don't have loyalty. Some people don't even have loyalty to themselves, because Aunt Nikki would have shut the fuck up if she'd have known if you'd have got the business, you would have been in a position to buy her a car. You would have been in a position to put her up in her own bar where she could have had her own liquor and she wouldn't have had to ask nobody for drinks. But because on Nikki like to run her goddamn mouth so much, she done put the whole hood on, and you still sitting there looking at her ass like, you mother. You understand? So sometimes you got to really hold your ideas. I didn't really understand that. I used to think that I was in with people who were valuable. I used to think that I was in with people who are loyal. One thing I'm going to tell you about a valuable person knows when to shut up. Yep. A valuable person knows how to hold water. A valuable person knows who to tell your business to or who not to tell your business to. And a valuable person knows what saying any of your business might do to you. A valuable person has hindsight and foresight. They understand that they have a brand. They understand that you might have a brand. They understand how information works and it plays out. They understand that if I tell you this week, that I shouldn't see all of this shit next week. You understand? If I told you that last year, and then I see that all these people were acting this way this year, then it is you who went about saying these things. You understand? So you have to pay attention to the tremors, pay attention to the webs that you set yourself in. Sometimes you are the spider that set the web for yourself, and you had not known that you was webbing out. You did not know. You understand? Sometimes you can get caught in somebody's web. Pay attention, pay attention. A lot of us would be a lot further had we not trusted some people to the left and to the right. Had we not, you know what I'm saying, went in with people who would disable us themselves. Shoot. Nikki wouldn't probably even have known you had she learned to discipline herself. Had she learned to keep her mouth shut, she would have been able to put you on. But because Nikki never learned no damn better, how in the hell is she going to help you be any better? So you got to pay attention to that too. Some of your elders, foolish as hell. They childish as hell. They've never grown up and they don't plan on it. And nobody's ever hit them in the head and let them know you're a child, but you're grown. That's because they still alive. So it's okay for them. They do not mind. They don't care. This is an example of the walking good dead. Not that they bad. It's just that they ain't no good. They've been no good to themselves, so how can they be of any assistance to you? I remember for a sense, after I felt like I gave my oldest enough instruction as I could, because I realized that I was soft in some ways because I'm the mother and I never wanted to be the father. I remember that when I told my son, I said, it's time for you to go off on your own because I've instructed you as far as I can get you. There are certain things that I cannot teach you. There are certain disciplines that I have not had myself. So I need you to go somewhere where the disciplines are. And the instruction was taken and the heed was taken. Sometimes you have to realize where your limitations are. I knew certain things I was not able to teach my oldest. I knew I didn't have a certain hardness and sternness that he needed as a man that would protect him as a man. I only had the hardness and sternness that protected me as a woman because I knew what my journey was. I knew what I needed protection from. So sometimes you have to also separate yourself from your kids because there's only so far you can get them before they have to take on the journey themselves. You get them there and then you push them off. That's akin to taking a ship. And you know what they say? How am I going to? You give them 2 oars. You give them instruction. Okay. You give them practice before you push them off from the shore. And after you've taught them how to row, You will not be there during the storms. You will not be there when the tide is coming in. You will not be there when the tide is rolling out. What you could do is give them instruction. What you can do is give them a sturdy boat. What you could do is make sure their oars don't have splinters in them and that you've polished them. I gave him the tools in which I had as much as I could. I gave him all that I could, and then I pushed him off from the shore, and surely he is sailing. And this is what we also have to know as parents, as guides, as teachers, as godparents, as aunts and uncles. Sometimes we have prepared our people as much as we can, and we have to know our limitations and stay in our lane and allow them to go off into the land, because this is how God has set things. Before 4, you should have a lot of instructions. But by 13, you should be prepared to actually proceed and provisionally proceed and guide yourself with a little bit of guidance. You should be with a little bit of overhead. You should be able to go forward. And the overhead should lessen as you go forward, because by the time you turn 18 and 22, because 22 is the developmental disability ages too, because by 22, between 22 and 25, you should know whether or not a developmental disability has arrived in your child. And that's for men and women. That's 22 and 25. So by those ages, excuse me, because of the way you've taught your child, fortunately, I know I prepared my child so that he could do what he had to do a little earlier on, but your child. That's when you should be able to push them to off of shore, and they should be equipped enough to start paddling. A lot of us did not do nothing. Some of us didn't even bring out a boat. Some of us, if they did bring out a boat, brought out a boat with holes in it. Some of us brought out one oar, not two oars. You know what I'm saying? Some of us did not prepare our youth to do things, and some of us straight up sabotaged our youth. We gave them weakened oars. We went with the rubber duckies instead of the number 2 pencils. We were out of order with the supplies that we gave. We didn't give the things. We didn't teach them how to sand the boat. We didn't teach them how to repair the boat. We didn't give them plugs. We didn't teach them how to provide, how to fish while on the boat. We didn't teach them that if you should lose the oar, how you should pull up, or how you could get to how you could swim, and how you could use kelp, or how you could provide, how you could pivot, how you can change, how you could wade through the water. We didn't teach them any of the alternate things before we pushed them off the shore, and we wonder why they sank. Some of the elders wanted them to sink. I actually do not like catfish. I don't like catfish. But either way, like I said, some of us have been prepared to sink. Pushed off the shore with holes in the boat, push off the shore with only one oar, push off the shore with no training, push off the shore, made sure there was not enough provision to be strong enough to stroke and get through. Pushed off the shore with no endurance training, pushed off the shore with malnutrition, pushed off the shore not even knowing what was poison and what was good, because that is a lesson too. Not even knowing how to identify what was good and what was bad. What was bad weather? What was that cloud? What time is it when the sun rises? What time is it when the moon is coming? Exactly what position in the sky? There are a lot of things that should have been taught. And if they weren't taught, you should have put that person or that child or whoever in the position to where they're the best position so that they can go and get that knowledge. Some of us block the knowledge. And you have to be careful with that, because you can mess up your blessings blocking someone else's because of whatever feeling evoked in you. Should not make you that miserable that you would block someone else's way, their blessings, their ascension, their growth. Even if that happened to you, why would you want that to happen to someone else? You know how you felt when that happened to you. You know how awful that felt. You know how difficult that situation was for you. Why would you set that up for someone else, even if it is your enemy? Too many people want to be other people's karma. That wasn't the place for you. That's not a place for you to be, okay? That is haram. All right? For the ones who know, Assalamualaikum salam. Right, that is haram, okay? That you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't want to act as a person's karma because karma is definitely already karma has its job. It does not need you to take over for it because you will in turn start receiving. Like we always say, our God is a jealous God, and how dare you try to take his job? Karma is one of the many hats. Okay. Karma and death are of the many hats. Dharma is of the many hats. The many hats. Okay. Many jobs that has to be done. And how dare you try to take a position that was not fashioned for you? You barely play your position. How dare you try to play his? That's craziness. That's craziness. And you know what? I feel like I've talked to you long enough, and those were the messages. You guys are in spiritual court right now. Judgment is happening to the ones who think that they're going to overpower God's will and going to keep throwing off the blessings that He has put in line. He's tired of the medicines that He put forth not being made. He's tired of the water systems He put forth not being made. He's tired of the crops that He once grown not being grown because someone else wants to manipulate and play God on His green earth. So, pardon moi as I surrender and I allow you guys to take your places in your positions, okay? So, you have a good morning and definitely have the day that you deserve. That part. Talk to you later. This is Nyx. Peace out. Don't come for me because someone is definitely spun you. I'll bet like gold. What is that? Rapunzel or is it Sleeping Beauty? Who's spinning on the thimble? Oh.